Okay, it's a power linguist coming to you from somewhere in Southeast Asia, not revealing my location because there's a current contest going on about that. Anyway, I'm filming here out of the street where the noise is high and also in the sun because it's broiling hot. Too bad for those of you in North America and in most of Europe and of course Russia and other places. Scandinavia, don't even need to talk about that, right? It's snow there. Anyway, so this is a commentary about what was going on a certain post and talk on a Facebook page. And I should say, by the way, language-busters.com is where to find more information about everything, and the volume method, get it if you don't have it. Anyway, so this is a message about or a commentary really about a message that was put up about a guy saying he didn't like Filipinos' English, that they were incomprehensible in English, and this brought on a wave of people agreeing with him, mainly U.S. people, and then some people saying that, well, you know, the English from North America is actually not that large a percentage worldwide of world English, which is true. There are more second language English speakers than first language English speakers, and the number just in India alone is higher than all of the United States population, and growing. So I'll talk about India in a second, but anyway, so actually I really like Filipino accent in English. Is one of my favorite accents actually, and it's because most of their languages have unreleased stop, so they talk when they don't release, they don't aspirate on the consonant at the final position. I won't go into all the phonic tactics, but because that's what I do know, because I'm a power linguist after all. Not a Kaufman, wannabe pundit, nobody. All right, so anyway, talking about this, the guy was saying, oh, they're incomprehensible and they need to learn this and that, which brought on, of course, responses from me about I hated a lot of native U.S. accents, and they were incomprehensible to people, say, in Hebrides, Scotland, or in or places in Wales or in Australia. England has loads of different accents. I mean, you have to know dialects to be able to. I think London has over 40. I'm not saying, because I did not study exactly the details and data on that, but anyway, there's a lot, and they're not all comprehensible, and a lot of people have trouble because the idioms change, for one thing, and then the vowels. English is a stress time language, usually 4 stresses per utterance, and so that has a lot to do with the vowel length, and that's how people change things. They put emphasis and they ask a question, and what? They do all this, which in tone languages, none of the Filipino languages are tone, though. It changes everything, and they don't know that, and they draw things out. They make vowel length. It's not significant in English. Although Mike Campbell once tried to argue that it was, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway, so that would mean that saying go and go mean 2 different things in English. They don't mean anything at all. It's just a super segmental difference in emphasis. Anyway, so the factor is because we don't have particles and things to indicate certain things in English, like the topic exactly. We have a subject, but that doesn't always mean that the topic is exactly the subject. Anyway, without getting into a lot of linguistics that most of the people can't follow, I will just say that, yeah, so I said that, for example, the Harvard Yad, substituting an intermedial R for a glottal stop. This happens also in England too. That Cockney accent is well known for that, for dropping that hello. Starting, they do initial they drop H's and put glottal stops, but in the northeastern, like the Massachusetts area of the United States, the intermedial R is dropped for a glottal stop is put in. That's one thing. And then I don't want to try to do the Bronx accent. I hate that. The New Jersey one's irritating as hell to me. But then let's go to the one that's universally considered the sign of mental retardation in the United States, and there's lots of different ways, versions of this, and that's the Southern redneck, trailer park, Southern trailer park English. which there's lots of different variations, and I can do different variations. The problem is I need to be around them to really key into the exact one, and I kind of mix them. But you know, yeah, fixing go down there because I heard he's got some of that there good rubber on them tires, and them tires is what I need because Bubba, my brother, that'd be my big brother-in-law. He don't know about them Fords because I'm a Chevy man myself, and I told him you need to get rid of them goddamn Fords. They ain't gonna work. They're bone. I'm fixing to do it, and he don't know nothing about it. I'm gonna tell him, but he not listening to me. I'm gonna see him at the barbecue later, and we're gonna do that. But I don't know what he gonna do then. It's kind of missing the Cajun French from Louisiana in there. Anyway, that is incomprehensible to people in other parts of the world. In the United States, it's considered pretty stupid. If you were to show up in Los Angeles or New York City for a business meeting, and you say, "How kinfolk been doing, huh? How kinfolk been, huh? Y'all been ready for that? Yeah, the meeting all going. It going good. It. Well, he done did that. Yeah, and lots of things. I seen it. Not I have seen it. I seen it. You know. But anyway, so there's a lot of the point being that the person arguing, he took down the post because he couldn't really keep up intellectually with what was being stated. So he just took the post down. That's one sign of a guy who lost an argument, didn't have an argument. Anyway, so saying that is precipitative to argue that there's one accent that is clearer than others for a worldwide audience when there is a prestige accent. That's true. That's why this goddamn thing, that's no prestige accent. Yes, and you're better off learning the prestige accent of L2, but that is no longer like the received pronunciation of England. North American English overall does have a huge power because it is in media and movies, news, and music. The majority of people try to hit that accent when they speak, even if they weren't originally born in that area. So they hear it a lot, and this has a lot of power, of course, worldwide. But Filipinos, let's get back to Filipinos. Filipinos are a very multicultural, multilingual country. 7,001 islands. It's a hell of a lot of islands. They're really not. They're tribal. If you've been there, lived there, it's kind of tribal in their aspect. Most humans are, but this is very. They recognize themselves as Filipino when it comes to a national thing, or Pacquiao or something like that. But overall, there's differences. Cebuanos don't want to speak Tagalog, and if you're in Manila, you're going to only hear like Tagalog. And the thing is, though, that they have diglossia, which means in different realms, different instances, situations, they will code switch. They'll code switch all the time, actually, but they will use a different language, and they actually do mix, like I said, code switching, and I wrote a paper on code switching, which you can find about bilateral coordinate bilinguals, because it's very interesting. Anyway, so the thing being is that trying to decry Filipinos when they speak at least generally 3 languages at the least. They speak whatever their area's language is, and then Tagalog, and then of course English, because they have Tagalog and English in school. Cebuano, which is even actually larger than Tagalog, isn't official, but like if you're in Cebu, that's what you're going to be hearing. And there's more Spanish influence in that language than there is in Tagalog, by the way. But they're all interesting. They have things like topic markers, particles, which I was talking about earlier. And anyway, so not to get off in that, but what my point is here with all this is it's just a thing that, saying certain accents were clearer to native L1 English speakers is not true, because it's clear to your geographic area, and those who have heard one geographic area a lot, like I was saying, like the North American upper northern Midwest accent, as it's called, which is changing. You can look at research that's been done on that. All accents change over time, and the actual individual person will change his accent over his lifetime. That's been documented. You can look that up. Pennsylvania studies, for one. Anyway, the Wisconsin, blah blah. Anyway, so we go on. And Canada has some interesting things. They've retained some of the influences from the Scottish on their vowels, and also, yeah, anyway, they're up raised, central raised vowels. But anyway, okay, so that's the Power Linguist proving to you once again that these pundit idiot morons don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they should just give it the hell on up and listen when the Power Linguist speaks, because I'm too legit to quit, and I run this mother, and see me on languagebusters.com. Ha!